All right, hey everybody. This is the Old Boys Podcast, a show about movies, friendship, and sometimes
reverse
intrigue. No, not reverse birth. Now we have to keep the reverse birth shit in so people know what we're talking about.
No,
Like,
we could just say random stuff and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It matters. If anything, Freddie Mercury ever told me was that having
really
several extra incisors gives a great blowjob, and that nothing really matters. Did you know he used to call his cats Freddie Mercury from The Road? That's what I learned from that documentary.
Wait, what?
Freddie Mercury from Queen used to call his cats. He would call somebody at his house and make them pick up the phone and put the receiver to the cat so he could talk to the cat and tell it
that's
how it's
awesome.
doing. And he wrote songs for the cats. Like there are some songs that he wrote specifically for his cats.
That's beautiful.
Dan's
What an
like,
endearing
that's not weird to
story.
me. That sounds great.
That's not weird to me. I sing to my cats all the fucking time. And then right, you little fuck.
I'm not famous. You could be YouTube famous, maybe. Anyways, so this is a movie podcast.
Yes,
And,
a movie podcast.
That I do with my good bud Dan, who is a film master.
Excuse me, you do?
You do. The do-do.
We do.
We
The
do.
do-do.
That's true. And I'm just like some guy. I don't have any credentials.
I'm just this dude who does this show. Yeah, I
just
guess
like
I'll
podcasting.
get, because I have the master in film, I will give you the host credit. You just drag me along.
Some movies are not good, Dan.
That's correct, Jared.
You know what? I'm so fucking mad at you, at the world, at
I am
films
too.
in general.
I cannot dude, this is like week number 3 in terms of just shit show movies.
How do we keep running into these Charlie Countryman fucking ridiculous nonsense movies?
Well, okay, Charlie Countryman was my fault because it was a suggestion from somebody else, but this one I'm like, there's no fucking way that this could be bad. Like, it's going to be entertaining at least. And guess what? I was entertained for 5 whole fucking minutes.
In Darkness is infuriating.
It's infuriating. At first impressions, guys. Jared, 3, 2, 1. Infuriating.
It stinks.
Oh, okay. It stinks.
Oh, so Dan, before we go into it, please give me your 30-second elevator pitch.
Holy
of this film.
shit.
Do it
I don't
like
think
you're
I
trying
can
to
do
sell
a
it to me.
30-second elevator pitch of this film.
Do it like you're trying to sell it to me. Like this is your baby, and you want everyone to love it. But
Okay,
also
here we
give
go.
me info about the film. Go ahead.
So, Jared, there's this blind piano player, right? Mm-hmm. She's actually an assassin, but you don't know that. You don't know that till the very end. You don't know that till the very end. No, not the very end, but about halfway through, because I got to get the story out there. But basically, the assassin, she's trying to kill this mob boss, and this mob boss is her father because he raped a girl at one point, and she's just trying to get back to him, but she's still a blind pianist, and then that's how she gets back into this blind pianist. And there's this other person that's like fuckable, but he was the star of Tao, and
Fuckable.
and his sister was, I don't know, I think she was in Event Horizon. I recognize her from. But that one chick from Event Horizon, she's also in it, and I've already cast the whole thing. Can you give me money? It's a little bit longer than an elevator pitch, but you know.
Oh shit!
I keep hitting the closed
You're
door.
trying to talk really fast. You
I know, and I keep hitting the closed door. Like
as a movie executive, just hitting the open door button on
And
that
then I'm
elevator,
just
trying
like,
to escape as quickly as possible.
and I'm hitting the closed one, just back.
You're hitting a close button.
Just still screaming at your face.
This movie is almost unwatchable at times, and it's
Yes,
not
it
because
is.
It's
It's
incompetently
100%.
made.
It's 100% unwatchable at times because there were times whenever I stopped fucking watching it and I fast forwarded. This is the second movie I've had to fast forward.
I was so bored. I
I was
with this fucking
incredibly bored. Now, here is the deal.
movie. Okay.
First 5 minutes, fucking amazing.
Uh-huh.
I liked the first 5 minutes a lot. I thought it was very creative because essentially she's a pianist who's making a score along with a symphony for a film.
Yeah, a horror
And
movie,
you
it looks like, or
know
something.
that if you read the plot that this girl is going to get murdered that she knows or something. So you keep getting these flashes of this girl who's about to get murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were introduced to the concept that she also has these weird dreams that may be premonitions or something. But there's this one point where, we see this girl getting strangled, and you think that it's the one that's happening that's going to set the whole movie. But then it pans out, and then we see that she's just playing along to this murder scene. And I like that, how that was filmed so well.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
And that was the first 5 minutes of the movie. I'm like, this movie has fucking promise. But then the very next fucking thing, Jared.
Yes.
Ruined the entire film.
What was that?
I don't fucking remember, because there's as soon as it starts to ruin itself, it's like, oh, wait a minute, I shit my pants, hold on. And then it shits its pants again. Then it opens up its drawers and then vomits into them, pisses into the vomit, and then jacks off into it through this gigantic puddle of piss, poop, and vomit, and then semen flies out everywhere because we can't tell what kind of mess we want to make.
Wait, Dan, what are you going to call all of this? What's the act called?
Oh, man.
The Aristocrats.
Oh, shit. Duh.
Okay.
It's called
Dan?
In Darkness is what it's called.
Dan, I know you seem very passionate about this film.
I'm not. I don't have any good things to say about it. You're going to have to remind me about certain scenes because
Did you take notes?
No.
Wow. Man, Dan, you got to take some fucking notes. Even if you hate a film, you got to do something.
I know. I'm being a bad boy, but
You're being a bad boy.
This time, because I'm pretty sure what we're going to assign for next time, I'm for sure taking notes.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely picking that movie, which we'll talk about. Anyways, okay, In Darkness. So we know the premise. Do
we really though? Because I don't think I did a good job explaining it.
Well, we're gonna get into the film proper, anyways.
Okay, so let's just kind of break this down. So she is a blind pianist.
Yes.
Who is blind and somebody who is, vulnerable. Her neighbor ends up dying.
Yes.
She's about to get
maybe
raped.
Suicide, maybe murder.
She's about to get raped at one point, and then you find out she can fight back. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, maybe she's been tried to be raped before. Maybe she's tried to be raped.
What?
Maybe she has been the victim of an attempted rape before. Cut out the other part. Jesus Christ. So, that kind of made sense. But then you find out about, 40 minutes into the movie, she's a covert operative that completely undermines everything that has been made in the first 40 minutes of the film.
And then, at the end of the movie,
she's like a double fucking agent because now she's working for the other criminals.
No, at the end of the film, it turns out she's not blind. And then that undermines the entire film. You didn't realize that?
No!
She's not blind anymore at the end of the film, dude.
Oh my God.
And then when you think, oh, okay, because maybe she's solved the traumatic event that's been throughout the entire film, you're like, oh, since she's gotten past that, maybe she's suddenly not blind anymore because it was like a psychosis. No, they go through painstaking lengths to show you different scenes where she is like looking at people, and they do remember that montage of her walking around and eyeing people. So at the end they do that to show no, she's been not blind this entire time. So that makes this movie even dumber. Like how awful you thought this film was. And I was like, Dan's not bringing up the not blind thing. What's happening? And then, so think of that, audience. This whole time, Dan was this mad, and he didn't realize the big twist at the end.
Probably because I didn't see the big twist at the end, because I had fucking checked out of the goddamn movie by then.
It's because you're blind, Dan. You're blind.
You know what? I am blind. You're right. Hold on a second.
One of the worst twists I've ever seen in a film. It was so insulting. This not blind thing, and you're like, whoa, actually sounds like a pretty cool twist, Jared. If you watch the film, you would disagree. It's the way they executed it, and we hate endings in this film, or not film, but
we hate
movies
endings
in
this podcast.
We hate endings. But what I wanted to say before because we keep hurting this film a lot, we're gonna hurt it more.
You want to help this movie?
No, I want to defend us because.
Oh, I see.
Lately, we've just been very mean to movies.
Well, stop making shit films that look attractive. Oh wait,
we keep
it's fucking
stepping
Netflix.
on these landmines of like bad
Because it's fucking Netflix, and here's the issue. We've come up with this notion before that Netflix is just buying shit and just painting it.
Yeah. So I don't
that's
want
what's
movies
happening,
to be bad.
I don't want them to be bad either. And like, it hurts my heart. I haven't seen a good movie.
Like, unless I'm
In a
watching
while.
a film that's called like Murder, Pussycat, Kill, Kill, I expect that movie to be bad, but at least entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want the film to be unwatchably annoying. Like, I'm rooting for the film. Like, I want the film to be good.
Well, see, and like now I have like extremely high standards. So it's like I watched that one film, The Wildling. I watched Hereditary, and you know those movies were good, but they aren't like damn good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like I mean, Hereditary came pretty close, but it's like I've just been so in a rut
seen a lot
of
of
watching.
movies.
Yeah, I've been sewn in a rut of just watching terrible bullshit that, you know, Netflix just, you know, paints and throws at you. That as soon as I got to Hereditary, it's like I was not on a high, and it ruined my high of what that movie could have been probably.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because you would think that a good movie would just break that spell. But that's not me. Like, I need to be on a high of watching movies to actually enjoy movies. And
I think it's just because the way we look at film, it's through a critical lens already. Because once you program your brain to spot certain things about a film, of like the acting, the directing, how the cameras are working, the cuts, and like all that stuff you're looking for, you can't turn that off.
You can't turn it off, but like, you're right. I can't turn it off, but what I can do is just say, you know, whatever. I'm enjoying it.
You can acknowledge it and look past it if you enjoy something.
Like, the narrative might be good, or there's going to be one element that I can hang on to. You know what I mean? And lately, there hasn't been anything that I've cared to hang on to.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've brought this up before, but like Miami Connection is objectively a terrible film.
Right.
But I can still find extreme enjoyment out of many aspects of the film, not just because it's funny. You know, it's like... there's definitely things to find enjoyment in this movie. There is no joy. There's nothing good about it, and it makes it sad because I can see all the hard work, all of the, just the stuff that they put into this film. They really wanted it to be a really cool, like, interesting thriller, and what it ended up being is. They're like, what's in a thriller? Okay, we're gonna find naked shower scene. We need obligatory sex scene. We need double, triple plot twists.
God.
We need misdirects. We need red herrings. We need like all these different things, and it's just all of them were so obvious, and it was like going through like a checklist of like things that have to be in your film. And it was just like so. Not only did they make the most generic thriller I've ever seen, but they made one of the most boring. And then the plot twists were so unnecessary and stupid that they undermined the entire film.
Well, exactly. That's
several times.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, think about a film like Hush, where it's like, let's take the typical, you know, breaking and entering movie, but make it different with the victim being deaf.
Yes.
So I thought that's what we were going to get into here, and this is becoming like a tired genre too, where it's like the person that they're going to, you know, rob has some kind of ineptitude, which. I have been suggested to watch a film called Don't Breathe with the blind guy. Have you seen that yet?
A friend of mine has been talking to me about that too. Apparently, it's supposed to be really good.
Is it the same friend?
Yeah, probably.
So
I've been wanting to see that movie.
I downloaded it, so I'm gonna watch it soon.
It's Ben, friend of the show.
Yes,
friend of the show. Telling us about it.
I've
been wanting to watch that film, but I forgot about it. And he kind of reminded me, and I'm like, I need to see that film.
And he's like, it gave me a Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So Natalie Dormer, Natalie Dormer, it plays Sophia in this film. She's the lead role. She wrote and produced this movie with the director, Anthony Bourne. Yes. So this is her baby. This is the only film that she wrote and produced.
Is this the girl from Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones. Yeah, she's I forget exactly What? Hold on. I have to tell people because people are going to get upset. They need to know the Game of Thrones.
Whenever this is just ridiculous.
She was Marjorie Tyrell in Game of Thrones.
Was she an important character in Game of Thrones?
For a while.
Did she die?
I mean, spoiler alert.
I don't give a fuck, really.
She does die.
Hey, pop culture nerds. I haven't seen Game of Thrones and probably never will.
You're a bad person.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to go for. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at here is just because you have the Game of Thrones money to dump into a movie doesn't mean that you should.
You know what? But why tell her to not do it? I say let her try. She did a film.
Pick a different director.
Maybe don't write a film.
Maybe just don't star in it. Just
you know what? I don't want to tell people to not produce and write films. That's mean. But
okay,
because
Jared, she
has every right to try to make a good film. And objectively, this movie is well shot. It's like okay, Dan, did the directing
objectively this movie looks like a movie. Yes, very good.
Yeah, so it's not offensive in that way.
No.
Okay.
What made it offensive was the writing. What made it offensive was the writing.
What made it offensive was
the writing. Like just the. Was it her first time writing a film? Everything was
competently done. Let's agree.
Yes.
For the most part, the acting was good. Camera work was everything was serviceable, and what a film. It's like the standard of what films should be, except for the writing.
Okay, so here's my relationship with this, right? I assign this, and then as soon as I'm about to watch it, I'm never doing this again. Never doing this again. But as soon as I'm about to watch it, I looked it up on IMDb. No, I looked it up on IMDb. I saw it was below 6. I'm like, oh great. That means there's a legit possibility that this movie might not be that great.
I mean, every movie is like a 6 that we watch.
Well, yeah, I'm okay with 6s though.
On
but it's like
now.
5.7. I'm like, you know what? Somebody thought this movie was not that good, and then the more I watch them, I'm like, this movie needs to be a 3.
Oh yeah, it needs to be way fucking lower. I don't know why anyone likes this movie.
Jesus Christ! Well, probably because it's competently made, and you know who it's servicing. The people who don't think about movies like we do. It's like, oh, a twist. Oh, another twist. She was fucking.
It's
not
people
blind.
Who want to see Natalie Dormer's tits. That's who fucking love this movie. Like my dad, if he saw this film, he'd be like, "Oh, it was a good movie. I liked it," because he loves to see boobies.
Oh,
he's an old man pervert.
You like to see boobies too.
I like to see boobies too, and I did write boobs in big caps on my notes when I saw them. But
can we
big
talk
boobs
about, can we talk
does
about the
not
boobs
a movie
really
make.
Can we talk about the boobs really quick?
Yes, of course. This is Dan's boob segment.
No, I just want to talk about the sex scene.
Oh, okay.
So the obligatory sex scene.
So pointless.
So pointless. And as soon as this happened, I'm like, what the
out of left field.
Out of left field, and just she puts a blindfold on him to have sex with him.
Yeah.
As if to say, I'm blind.
And the way that comes back later is so stupid, it was baffling. Like, it made me laugh because it didn't make any sense. At the end, when he's dying, and he's like, make me like you. And then she puts a blindfold over him. What the fuck was the point of that? I don't even know how he got hurt. Guys, we have to get into this movie.
Every time I see somebody put like a blindfold over their head, I just think of the Deer Hunter.
The Deer Hunter.
Just like, the bandana and Christopher Walken. Yeah.
Yes, the dueling banjos.
That's not that movie at all.
Oh, that's Deliverance. Oh, Deer Hunter is the Mao Giddy Mao when they play Russian roulette. Yeah. Oh, that movie's great.
That movie is
That's
great.
A good movie. Is that where that thing came from when people go, Mao Giddy Mao? Is that from Deer Hunter?
Well,
okay.
I don't know, maybe.
That's what I figured. Like, okay. I mean, that's what I scream when I play Russian roulette.
Jared?
Yes?
I believe you said we have to get into this movie, so why don't you take us to square one? Or 2
the year
or 3?
was 2018.
Okay.
a mystery thriller, was born. 1 hour and 50 minutes. I'd say an hour and 50 minutes too much. We already know that the main character is blind.
Do we know? I think we need to establish that a little bit more.
Please understand that she is not actually blind, and this will make the film way more funny as we continue to go on. So this entire film, she's acting like she's blind, even when no one is around. So that means she's in such deep cover that she is pretending to be blind in her own fucking house. Do you see how stupid that is? How terrible of the writing that is when she is acting blind. Even when she tries to assassinate the one person that she's trying to kill, this guy Radek, this terrorist guy, for her entire life, she can't not pretend to be blind even when she tries to slip poison into his fucking drink. God damn it. Wow, that was so stupid. So she's going to her work. She's only lived in this apartment for 6 months. And right above her is this woman who is the daughter of this... Yeah. Whatever her name is. Just neighbor lady. And she is the daughter of this guy named Radek, who is a Serbian criminal, I guess, who's committed war crimes, but is pretending to be this humanitarian for some reason. And he's like, has a foundation... and he has a lot of money.
See, maybe that's why I didn't quite understand or didn't just appreciate this film. I thought that this guy was very big and muscular and bald and wore very thick, dark goggles.
What the fuck? I do not get the reference.
Riddick.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Oh,
cut that out. Jesus. Fuck.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Chronicles of Radek.
Radek is like his shitty cousin. Hey Riddick, can I play with you guys? I got the night visions too. I'm Riddick.
You mean Radek?
Get out of here, Radek. You fucking piece of shit.
I'm not gonna grow up to be a piece of shit and rape a bunch of women.
Whoa! Oh yeah, that's so. Radek's defining trait, when he wants to be evil or show his true self, is raping blind women. That's the thing he's into. Only blind women.
Only blind women. He has a thing for blind women. I wonder if that's a. You know what? You keep talking. I'm going to look that up right now.
Okay, so the Sophia character has a rapport with a very awkward rapport with her next door neighbor. And if her whole goal, like we've established, is to gather intel on Radek so she can get alone with him to kill him, it's everything she does is very convoluted. So she's somehow gotten into this benefit for Radek through the daughter. So the daughter's like, you're going to go play piano for my father's benefit. And when she asks her how she feels about her father, she's kind of like, iffy about it. So you're like, maybe they don't have a good relationship. I don't know. And at this point, we're not really...
According to Dr. Anil Agrawal, in his 2009 book, Forensic and Medico-Legal Aspects of Sexual Crimes and Unusual Sexual Practices, Amarophilia is a sexual paraphilia where the individual derives sexual pleasure and arousal by, quote, a partner who is blind or unable to see due to artificial means such as being blindfolded or having sex in total darkness. Thank you.
Oh, so just the Tuesday then.
Yes. Amarophilia is what it's called.
Oh.
I knew there was a word for it. Words are fun.
If you
Words
like Amarophilia...
I want to talk about that song. I feel like we've talked about that song before.
If you like hiding in the closet while your mother gets gangbanged. How about we cut to that scene, every other scene in the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Until you get sick of seeing it. They cut to her dream sequence, I think, more than they actually cut back to the film. They show it so much.
Isn't that another hint that she's not really blind because she's dreaming so vividly? I mean, how do blind people dream, really?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't think about that. I just thought she just saw things in her head, clearly. or maybe it was for the benefit of us. But yeah, so then why? Okay, when she's younger, she's not blind? Or did she grow out of being blind? They never explained it, because she seemed clearly blind as a child, too. Maybe the other girl, maybe her blind sister got killed, and she wasn't the one that was blind. So she was pretending, like, because their father would blindfold one of the girls with the other blind girl to try to teach them to play piano. So then she just kept pretending.
I thought it was implied
blind.
that the dude that's on the piano was the guy who raped the mom.
No, that was the dad.
Well, yeah.
No, like I don't know. Anyways,
terrible joke.
So she's in her apartment pretending to be blind to nobody, and then upstairs there's a commotion. There's a man there who I'm going to call the spy guy, because that's just who he is to me. He's a spy guy. He is the love interest in this movie, which is laughable.
He's the guy who played the evil villain from Tao, is what I was saying before.
Yes. Yeah. Ed Serkin? Is that him? Skirkin. Anyways, he is like manically chasing after the neighbor, and she like runs into an elevator, and there's a scene where she's like telling the girl, because she wanted to know what perfume she wore. She's like, "What kind of perfume do you have?" And she's like, "It's called Golden Delicious," or some bullshit. That turns out to be a password for a USB drive. Because this movie is a spy movie. Don't forget that the neighbor slips into the blind woman's coat pocket. Now, here's the thing. There's no way that a blind person, she would remember that this lady slipped something into her coat pocket.
Because she has heightened senses of touch.
No, because she never realized it to begin with, and then later on, she remembers in a flashback that scene, and then it shows her dropping it in there. She goes, "Oh, I'm gonna check my jacket pocket." Like,
here's the thing.
So that means she knew that something got put in her jacket pocket, but never grabbed it to begin with.
Another thing that we need to talk about, and I don't mean to be ableist, but
okay,
let's just talk facts here. Blind people can't have flashbacks.
That's oh, god damn it. They can have soundbacks. Be like, I remember when I heard this.
Exactly. The laws of cinema cannot apply to the blind.
Be like, I remember that.
I mean, I'm sure they can have memories, but a flashback is specifically a cinematic term, and blind people don't get to partake. I'm sorry.
Okay, so she does remember that the USB is in her coat pocket, even though there's no way she could, unless she's not really blind. But then why is she pretending while she's going to her jacket pocket that she is still blind to go get it? It's the most convoluted. This might be the most convoluted movie I have ever seen. Like, ridiculous. It's ridiculous. How could nobody watch this film, like, when they finished it and they did the screening and no one said, like, "Hey, this movie doesn't make any fucking sense. You can't release this movie." Like, it's pretty well made, but you need to, like, either cut the ending off or something, or like completely reshoot the ending to have this movie make any semblance of sense. This is out of control. You're fucking lunatic. You're lunatics. You're madmen. So she's got this USB drive by this dead woman who actually just threw herself off a building. She didn't even kill herself. So the man there, who was also sexually involved with the neighbor, the spy guy, was so involved with this woman while he was undercover trying to get this USB drive that
he's gonna have a baby.
Yeah, he ended up getting this lady pregnant. And then the spy guy has a spy sister that works for a security company that Radek hired her. So Radek has this security company where this woman works, who is pretty evil, and then she makes her brother go basically do assassinations for the security company. To what end? I'm not sure. I guess they want to get the USB drive because it has all of Radek's
connections.
Yeah, it has all of his connections and all of his money. Like his bank account information. So like if they get it, they just get all of his money. And I guess Radek doesn't know about that, but he kind of does because he hired the security team to get it. But I guess the security team wants it because they want the money. So there's like a weird third, fourth party stuff going on that's very convoluted. And so the spy guy is there to kill Veronique or whatever her name is, the neighbor, but she jumps to her death and kills herself. And then later on in the film, the spy guy's talking to his sister and he's like, did you know that she was pregnant? And then she's like, oh, I did not know that. And then later on, when the spy lady is in trouble because Radek has found out that she knows that she is a triple agent or whatever, the brother doesn't want to help his own sister because she basically got her own son or daughter killed.
Yeah.
But the problem is she didn't, because he was sent there to kill her and he didn't do it. She killed herself.
Right.
So it wasn't his own sister's fault. It was the person that he impregnated. She was either depressed or crazy or something, and she killed herself.
Well,
you see what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. But
so none of that made any sense.
This movie has a bunch of like kind of turn and point fingers at itself.
Yeah.
Type moments. That would be one of them, I think.
It's, I guess. And then you have this villain, the spy lady and the spy guy. For some reason, the movie halfway through is like, oh, actually, this spy guy who's been a terrible, awful person this entire film, he's actually a good guy. And he's actually going to help the main character now. And he's going to be the love interest. And you're like, what the fuck is this? So then he starts fucking Sophia because she's being questioned by the detective, who I love the detective. I thought the detective was great. If the whole film was about him and Sophia back and forth.
Introduced in film, like the way he was introduced and just, given to you, it made him see like he was a crooked cop.
I didn't think so. I thought, well, maybe, but he was so enjoyable.
The way he was filmed to me, that's what it was.
I just loved being around him. He had like this weird charisma about him that no one else in the film had. And it was just, he would like light up a scene. I was like, oh, cool. I like to see this guy just do his thing. And it was fun. Like, I enjoyed the detective. He had almost no role really in the movie. His role was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
He didn't, I mean, he was figuring things out and solving stuff, but this, like, you didn't even want the film to be solved. It was that bad. So he like I said, spy guy ends up sleeping with Sophia. And I know I keep harping on this, but it's the most nonsensical. Like, did you see any chemistry or any reason?
Of course not.
Like the only thing that
there was a couple parts that like I really had to fast forward through, and like everything that was with him, like towards the end of that arc of him, like kind of wooing her, I couldn't fucking stomach it. It was too much.
Yeah, it's like he became obsessed with her for no reason. Because at first his sister was like, "You need to kill that neighbor who is Sophia because she witnessed you trying to murder Radek's daughter, and we need to tie up loose ends." So you're like, okay. But then when he finds out that she's blind, because he breaks into her house, right? He is in her fucking house with a gun, and she is still pretending to be blind and walking around normally. Do you know how hard that would be to not react to someone in your own house while you're pretending to be blind?
One would say impossible.
It would be impossible. I think just pretending to be blind for that long, somebody would notice that you can see. Because if like a bird flies by, your eyes are going to instantly look at the bird for a second. You know what I mean? Like, you can't control what your eyes do unless you have something blocking your vision. That'd be the only way. But there's a lot of times where she is just doesn't have sunglasses on or anything. How is she not having a fucking panic attack? You know, like all the different scenes where she like kind of falls down and has panic attacks? Why would she not freak out when there's a stranger in her house?
Well, then my other question is like,
with a gun.
Here's the big thing. Okay, so like I didn't care about that arc too much. The arc that I cared about, that I was trying to invest emotion in, was her killing Radek. Because that was like the penultimate thing, right?
Yes, that was the whole point of the film.
So my biggest concern here is why the fuck didn't she do it? Like what sympathy did she automatically just gain out of nowhere that she couldn't bring herself to kill her mother's rapist and
Because
family
it was
murderer?
her dad? She found out that Radek
Her
was
dad
actually
that
her
wants
dad?
to rape her.
Yeah. Well, because later on she's in a limo with him after leaving the funeral of the neighbor.
Get this fucking clip too, because this is where I just this is why I couldn't figure out if he was blind or not, because I stopped listening after this part. This is where the film just kind of points fingers at itself, and it's like,
I never came here when Veronique lived here. 2 daughters living under and above each other, both plotting to end me. You're not scared of me.
I've been killing you every day for the last 24 years. There's nothing to be scared of.
It's not going to end that way.
who would have thought? 2 daughters, one above the other. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Jesus Christ.
Wait, are you talking about the very end of the film or the scene in the limousine?
I thought it was in the limousine.
I mean, we can play both because they're both equally fucking stupid.
Get the one where he's talking about like 2 daughters. It may have been this scene at the very end. But Jesus Christ, I was so angry at it.
Yeah, like I said, the ending is pretty infuriating. That scene in the limousine where he already knows that the main character is her other daughter, his illegitimate daughter, and that she wants to kill him. It seems like everyone is ahead of Sophia, even though she's being all secret agent-y and shit.
She's a quadruple agent that missed the memo.
Who can't stab an elderly man. She can't stab an elderly man.
That's what I'm saying.
And she can't. She's still pretending to be blind at this point in a limo with him.
Oh my God.
So she tries to stab him, and he grabs the knife and is like, "I'm not gonna let you kill me." And then, literally right after saying that, he goes, "Kill me!" And he like puts the knife up to his throat. He's like, "Fucking slit my throat! Do it! Do it!"
Sophia,
and she won't do it.
Sophia, can I call you Sophia?
She won't fucking do it. Why?
Can I call you Sophia?
Yes, you can call me Sophia.
Okay. What was her name? Nancy?
Nancy
We'll
Drew?
go with Nancy. Yes. Whoever wrote this film, I forgot her name already.
It's Nancy Drew.
Okay, Nancy Drew. So, Nancy Drew, if you could just please, I don't know, just go back and watch this film a little bit before making another movie. I think you do a lot better.
I'd just say, let somebody go through your drafts a few times to see if your shit makes sense. Like, have a third party read the script and be like, tell me if this makes sense to you.
I feel like that was misogynist. You shouldn't ever go through a woman's draft.
God damn you.
I'm just saying. I call them as I see them. And
I'm not saying that. I'm in no way implying that women cannot write scripts. I'm just saying the script is bad. And it should have been looked at again by I don't care who, a woman,
my draft
anyone.
joke was supposed to be like about clothing, whenever it's feeling drafty somewhere.
I don't know. I got a little lost in whatever you were saying.
I'm good at doing that for you today for some reason. You missed the Riddick joke, missed this joke. Maybe I just need to. Maybe my writing sucks today, guys. Have you ever thought of that, Dan?
It could
maybe
be.
your writing sucks.
Yeah,
well,
Dan.
Great. Maybe it does.
I love the argument of people are like, have you ever made a movie? Then you can't criticize films.
That's like, funny. It's so funny.
How stupid. That's such a dumb argument. It's like if you eat ice cream and you're like, I didn't like this ice cream. You're like, well, have you ever made ice cream, you fucking retard? How dare you criticize this ice cream? You've never made it. But like, I can actually enjoy something and not have made it before. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Man, this beer is great. Have you ever made beer? You can't fully appreciate it if you don't
first thing
make
about
it.
Beer. That argument's so stupid. Anyways,
Have you ever made in darkness?
Exactly. If you haven't made in darkness, then you don't even fucking know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we have
Only
to
the
like
people
adjust.
who made the film can judge it.
We have to adjust.
Critics
the
don't know what they're
argument.
talking about.
We have to
That-
adjust
you know
the
what?
argument to individual bases. Where it's like, did you make in darkness? Then how would you know?
I'm getting so frustrated with people saying that critics don't know what they're talking about.
That's so.
And they're like, don't trust critics. And I'm like, I mean, you shouldn't blindly believe someone's opinion, but you can take people's opinions into consideration. I don't see
Opinions?
they're con-pinions. Yeah, because they're trying to con you into believing
Yeah,
what they
exactly.
believe.
That's a
God
good-
damn
that's
it.
such a good point.
Motherfucker. But you know what I mean, right? It's like,
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. That's why you read like 3
yes.
all across
Like,
the spectrum and then make your ideas based off of what other people said in every single
you cross-reference it with your own ideas, and looking at the film or the game or whatever you're trying to look at, you're like, does this appeal to me? It's more information. You're gathering intel on something. And why not gather it from a fucking professional? Somebody who's dedicated his life to understanding film. God damn it. Anyways, get off my soapbox. So, I want to read some of the weird lines in this movie.
Oh, please do.
Here we go. There's one point where Sophia is on a subway, and the subway train is going to stop suddenly, and she has to get off in a place that she doesn't know where she is. And I thought this was really cool. Like, what's going to happen? Because for some reason she has to walk the rest of the way home. How's she going to get home? Like, if you're blind, even if you're like born blind, I think it would be very hard to get home if you get thrown out of your routine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But here's what this man says to her when she asks what the announcer over the comms just said on the subway. He says, "Someone's gone at her train nodes at Circus." That's right. Someone's gone at her train nodes at Circus. I don't know what that means.
Did you put on subtitles for that?
Yes, I did. I rewatched it several times. I had to put on subtitles for this movie multiple times because characters were whispering. I didn't clearly understand what was happening in different scenes, and I'm like, I have to know because I thought it was going to hurt my enjoyment of the movie.
Because somebody like had jumped in front of the train or something.
Is that what it was? I swear that's what the subtitles say. I wrote it verbatim.
That's weird.
Really weird. Another weird scene is when I'll tell you when I checked out completely. It was a little after the 30-minute mark. They had done the benefit, and Sophia's walking home in an alley, and it just shows her shadow, which I kind of liked. This is an interesting.
I did like
way
that.
to
Yeah.
do that.
So I'll say that this film was a little bit more competently shot than I'm giving it credit for.
Yes, it's just the writing was really hampered it. I think the director did a well enough job. He just had a hard material to work with. So there's these hoodlums that are going to, they're threatening to rape her, which is pretty intense. And it actually goes along with what happened to her mom. And it's even scarier if you think about it that way. Mm-hmm. But what's confusing is that she's still pretending to be blind. I guess she's still pretending to be blind because she knows the spy guy is following her.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. But how would she know that the spy guy is going to come and help her? You know what I mean?
She wouldn't.
What if he just fucking left and then was she going to still pretend to be blind and these guys are just going to like rob her or do whatever? It's fucking scary. So anyways, he saves her. Oh, this movie has a whole action film like Jason Bourne thing that happens with the spy guy like different times. Because she gets kidnapped again by Russians, which is like, because the Russians want the USB drive. It's very convoluted. It almost doesn't matter at all. It's like a whole other thing that doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't.
Because this is a revenge movie, and they put this other subplot in it that just doesn't fucking need to be there. And he like Jason Bourne's his way into the van and like kills these dudes with a gun. And it was like the choreography was shot really like slow and stilted. It was almost like, okay, let me line this gun up and really make sure it's like right lined up with your face. So when you shoot it, then the effects will like line up with where we need him to be. I don't know. It was dumb. So the first time he saves her, they go to a coffee shop and they're talking to each other, and he's very obviously like asking her about the neighbor. He's like, how much did you know about that lady?
Like, what the fuck?
And
Why
and
did
she's
she
like,
pick up on that immediately?
I guess she did. So the big twist is that she knew the whole time because she's not blind, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but
And
he's not making it very hard to figure out, is what
Yes.
I'm saying.
here's the weird thing. Here's the Charlie Countryman connection, all right?
Oh.
She pulls out a scarf. The scarf that
Yeah, this did
her
remind me of
neighbor
that.
gave her and told her to look after. And you think the scarf is going to be important? It's not. I thought maybe the USB was in the scarf.
scarf? Yeah,
It's
me
not
too.
in the scarf.
No.
It's in her
But
fucking
you know what is in the
coat
scarf?
pocket. What?
Do you know what is in the scarf?
What's in the scarf?
Something to get sniffed.
Oh yeah, baby. We had some more sniff play in this movie.
Yes.
So it's not sniffing a shirt, but this guy grabs the scarf and deeply inhales it in front of this woman. And if you're blind, I mean, you
In
can
public.
hear someone sniffing. Yeah.
In public.
He sniffs it several times. So what's creepier? Okay, Dan, I want you to pretend.
That, by the way,
Yes.
is called eproctophilia.
You get a hard on
Sexual
from
arousal
sniffing?
From sniffing.
Oh, God damn it. So let's pretend, Dan, you're a secret agent and you're undercover and your job is to
Wait a minute.
monitor
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I got that
a
wrong.
Serbian supermodel.
I got it wrong. I got it wrong.
Oh,
It's
God
actually
damn it. What?
olfactophilia.
Oh, that makes more sense because olfactory.
Yeah, but eproctophilia is a very specific olfactophilia
Oh no.
that involves farting.
Oh, gross. God damn it.
Good enough.
So anyways-
good enough.
Dan, you're a
Yes.
secret agent. You
Yeah.
fall in love with your target.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to kill her. You have
No.
impregnated her. And
Yes.
she has just died. You're grieving. You're mourning. You're
Yes.
sad. Would you think you would immediately try to fall in love with and have sex with the next woman that you're assigned to kill / investigate? Is this
I
guy
have
James
two
Bond?
questions for you.
What?
Is she a hot blonde?
Yes.
Is she blind?
Yes.
All bets are off. Sorry.
It was so unbelievable to me that this guy would do this. And I understand
Right.
Sophia's
Okay,
motivation is to trick the guy into getting her closer to the person she needs to get to. Like, I get why
Oh!
she's trying to seduce him.
Hold on a second. Let's talk about my favorite part of the movie,
Okay.
in which the sister person, the sister head of security, is berating her for being blind in front of the painting. She's like, I love this painting. I love
Yeah.
looking at it.
Uh-huh.
I like that exchange a lot until the very end when the blind woman walks away in somewhat of a defeat, but kind of got a comeuppance. And then what the lady says to get back at her is the most bizarre thing you would ever say in public about your brother.
What was it? Oh, that her brother's a good fuck or
Good
something.
fuck.
Yeah, that's why I said the writing in this is like, what?
What the fuck is happening? Your sister just called you a good fuck. How would she know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And there was some weird sexual tension. It was like the spy guy. He was a boy. He was like a Ken doll James Bond. That was his personality to me. Like, he was there
Oh my god, that's a
to do
perfect
Jason
description
Bourne
of
shit
him.
and fuck.
Yes.
That's it. And then the sister was just like, you're my marionette that goes around and fucks and kills things for me. Like, that's the only thing you are to me. Go do it. Are you fucking and killing something? You're not? Then you're not fucking doing your job. Go out there and fucking kill something. It was really bizarre. And then that same scene where he's sniffing the scarf, she asks him, and not exactly this, but the gist of it was, why are you following me? And the first thing he says is, I work for my sister. And then he says, I run a security company with my sister, basically, after that. That doesn't answer the question of, why are you following me?
Well, I mean, Jared, if you were caught following somebody and you were confronted Would you answer them outright?
He could just lie. He could say anything. He could say, I'm on my way to the fucking ice cream shop or something. I don't fucking know. Say anything.
Sometimes it's difficult to think of things off the top of your head. Sometimes.
Oh, okay. So another scene I want to talk about is when she gets kidnapped by the Russians because she has the USB drive. Oh, her dad is her informant, who we find later that she's part of this Serbian Russian operative.
Wait,
apparently
that was the dad from the piano?
Yes. So, okay. I think what happened is maybe that's not the dad from the piano, but the person that Sophia considers to be her real dad is the person who raised her after the tragic incident.
Right.
I think that guy was one of the murderers that didn't want to kill anybody and then just took the little girl and ran away with her. I think that's what it was. So it was somebody who like gave up being a contract killer and was like, I'm just going to keep this little girl safe. And that's kind of what happened. And that's how he knew like how to do contacts and how to like, you know, like intel and like you're being followed, blah, blah, blah.
Well, then, I mean, that might make sense to how he died because they don't really say how he died, but like a lot of his symptoms are like very poison based.
Yeah, he had some disease. We don't know what it is.
Yeah, but like hacking and coughing, like he could have been dying from a slow poison.
Maybe.
Which, you know, maybe she was just doing that to get back at everybody in his clan. I don't fucking know. Maybe
I don't know if she was trying to kill her own, the dad that she liked. She wanted to kill the dad she hated.
Oh,
a lot of dads in this
real
movie.
dad.
Double dad dramas, I say.
Double dad.
And that whole dad subplot with the dad she liked was pretty pointless too. I mean, that fucking didn't need to be in the film. I don't know what we were doing there. They were speaking in Serbian at one point, and you're like, wait, is she the Russians? Because I'm like, because you know, like they're like, we have to get the USB to the Russians, and I'm like, is she the Russians? But she's not. So
She just knows how to speak it.
it's so convoluted. So then the Russians show up, who like they don't even have, you know, like there's different main characters to represent different groups, like right. There's the spy people who are like the security company. Then there's Radek, who's his own company. But like the Russians have no one. They're just random Russians that attack her. I don't know who they work for. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't understand. She gets both of her fingers broken on one hand. They beat her up. A spy guy saves her. They are having an argument in the street. They're both covered in blood, freaking out. The police are running up behind them. Another guy, a Russian, comes up to stab Sophia. And the spy guy straight up stabs this dude in the stomach like 4 or 5 times.
And then gets away because she's like, help!
He walks slowly away as the police run up behind Sophia and help her. Why didn't the police chase after him? It's just like in Charlie Countryman when the villain of that movie just walks up some stairs and the police are like, we don't go upstairs. Like, no. The movie says we have to just arrest you and not the other person. That's exactly what happens. I get a lot of Charlie Countryman vibes from this movie. I don't know, man. I think it's a spiritual successor.
Maybe it might be.
Even though Charlie Countryman was a better film by all accounts. Would you agree?
Argue, yeah, for sure.
A more cohesive film. And
well, I mean,
if you
one
go back
that
and listen to our
like,
review of that movie, it's kind of funny. There's a brief phone call near the end of the film of Sophia wants to call her the dad that she was raised with, the good dad. Right. And then the lady was like, oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. He passed away last night. And then the lady says, he wanted me to tell you that he was sorry that he wasn't strong enough to carry you any longer. And that is something you would only hear in a film. Like, no human being speaks
would ever
that
say
way.
that, yeah.
And I don't know if there's a term for that, Dan, but that kind of shit drives me crazy. When people are talking like they're in a novel and they're not talking like they're real characters. And that shit takes me out of a film so fast. That happens a lot in this movie. It happens a lot in that Endless film that I was saying, like, it was kind of losing me. Like, that kind of shit happens where it's like, maybe this looked good on paper, but when people say it out loud, it sounds either pretentious or insulting to your audience. And it I don't know, does it bother you? Stuff like that where they're like, they coat on that weird metaphor. It's like, you're too stupid to fucking get what's going on. So I'm going to literally tell you. I don't know. I mean, and then they intercut it with a literal shot of the dad carrying the little girl Sophia on his shoulders, running out of that building.
Right.
Where the murders happened or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I get it. Whatever. I'm trying to think if there's any other stupid scene we want to talk about. Oh, okay. The ending. So this is, here's the big plan. You ready, Dan? This is what Sophia, she's already tried to poison him. Oh, I want to briefly talk about this too. I'm sorry. So it's so stupid. Her whole plot was, I'm going to go to this benefit to play the piano, right? And I'm going to pretend to be blind because I know Radek gets a hard-on for blind girls. Apparently she knows this. I don't know. Radek signals her out one-on-one. They're both alone together in a room. They both have drinks. He steps away to go talk to the security spy lady. All she has to do is take this poison and put it in his drink. But the entire time, she's still pretending to be blind. No one is watching her. She could even turn her head around, even though she's blind, and just pretend to, I'm still blind, but I'm looking behind me. You know what I mean? And just like see if anyone's looking. And then she drops the vial. She can't pick it up. She tries to grab it with her hand. She can't reach it. She tries to grab it with her foot. She can't reach it. And then when the guy comes back, she's wasted so much time that she can't poison him. She steps on the vial and then drops her glass to cover it. Which was a good move, but like, if you just poisoned him, just fucking do it.
Right.
I don't understand. So then, okay, so she fails at that. She fails at the limousine. She can't stab him then. So now her big plan is, she knows that Radek is now going to come after her. So she's waiting in her apartment or someone's apartment. It's either the daughter's or something. She's sitting there with 2 wine glasses, just like that other scene. Like they're gonna both sit down and have wine together, and she's gonna poison it again or something. I didn't make any sense. Like, why would she pour a wine glass for him? I don't know. And she's sitting there with her back to him, still pretending to be blind this entire time. He comes in and goes like, "We're not so different, you and I," or I don't know, whatever dumb fucking convoluted bullshit a villain would say to someone they're about to kill. And she's like, "I'm gonna stop you." And he goes, "No, you're not." And then he just starts fucking choking her. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Why don't you have a gun? Why don't you have any weapon? Why aren't you prepared at all? Why are you still pretending to be blind? Like, God damn it. This fucking movie is so stupid. Okay, the villain walks in, pretend to be blind, whatever. As soon as he walks in and you realize he's unarmed, that's when you pull your gun out and go, "Hey, guess what? I actually wasn't blind this whole time," and then shoot him. The scene is over. Why would Dan, can you defend this film? Can you defend this scene?
Have I been able to defend it from the very beginning?
It's impossible, right? It's
Yes.
incomprehensible. And then it gets dumber. It gets worse. Somehow. So she's on the ground. She's getting choked like at the beginning of the film when we thought that was part of the film, but it was actually her recording music for a horror movie or something.
Yeah.
She is similarly being choked like that woman was in that movie. And the villain is standing above her, choking her or whatever. And then the detective has figured out, oh, wait, she's not blind because he watched some videotape. So he's racing to the apartment. He doesn't matter. And then the spy guy, who's the love interest, apparently, he figures everything out. I don't know, whatever. And he's racing to the apartment. He runs in, right? He does his Jason Bourne on some of the guys in the hallway because we have to have a little action scene, which is terrible. The action scenes are fucking awful.
Yeah.
And he beats them all up. Ooh, really cool. I'm so glad our favorite main character guy is beating everyone
Spy
up.
guy.
Yeah. What a fucking... It's like why make a character that you want us to care about, but then make him so unlikable and awful? Anyways, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe cut that part. I'm getting really agitated. So the spy guy, he shows up at the house to save her. He runs into the room. He sees her getting choked. She's about to stab the villain with a shard of glass. Like in every You know, like in every fucking dumb movie where the character's about to die and they have to like grab a thing that's like off screen. Like, oh no. It's called writing yourself in a corner. That's what it's called.
Yes.
And the solution to this is the spy guy goes, "No, don't do it." Like, I don't know why he would want to stop her, but he stops her.
Because she hasn't killed anybody before.
So fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. And then
Preserve your innocence.
he grabs Raddick or whatever, or Radish or whatever, and throws him out a window. It looks like they both went out the window, right?
Yes. But they don't. It's just
And then we cut to Raddick has been impaled on a fence. He's dead. And Spy Guy is now he has a bloody chest. I don't understand how he got hurt. Do you know? Did the woman accidentally stab him?
No, he got hurt in the fight between him and Raddick. Like
there was no fight between him and Raddick. He just grabs him and throws him out the fucking window.
Well, then he got stabbed by one of the because he pulls a piece of glass out of his chest or something. That's what.
Then that means the woman that Sophia or whatever her name is stabbed him on accident.
Oh well, there you go.
It has to be that. So then he's like, Sophia or whatever's like, "Why didn't you let me kill him?" He's like, "You were gonna regret it for the rest of your life." Like that was some kind of theme or something that like, why would he fucking care? It didn't. It was so convoluted. It was so fucking dumb. It was so dumb. Just that notion is stupid too.
Yeah.
She's already spent her entire life trying to do this. I think it's a little late for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little fucking late for that. For a guy who's only known her for a week, maybe less. So then he's dying, and he's like, "Make me blind like you." I don't know why. He says that,
He
and
says
then
something about, like, "I don't want to see you leave."
yeah, which I don't understand that either.
So he can't witness her leaving.
But why?
I don't know.
And then she puts the blindfold on his head, and then she stumbles around, and then that's when it's revealed that she's been not blind this entire time. The movie ends with her walking confidently down the street as the detective shows up, and no one notices her walking away. That's the end of the film.
Yeah.
Wow. Just wow. I mean, I don't know if I can think of an ending that I hated more. There has to be something.
There has to be.
But this is just.
I don't know if I can waste the energy on thinking of a film that I hated more.
A film like this it's so competently made in so many different areas. Like, you can see all the work. That's what really makes something bad, when there's so much work that's put into it, and yet it's still fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
At least with like Sharknado, they kind of know this film is trash.
Right.
You know, they're like, we're gonna just make this fucking shitty movie and try to cash in on bad film genre or whatever. But this movie was really trying, and it still fucking shit the bed so hard. All right, anyways, we should wrap this up. We've been going on for a while. I think we all know the final thoughts.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's not even
need to
dignify
elaborate?
it with a final thought. How about that?
Okay, good. Don't ever see this movie for any fucking reason. It was incredibly offensively bad. So I have a film to assign.
Yes.
Here we go.
What is that film?
It's the new Coen Brothers movie.
Cohen, you say?
Yes.
As in Barton Fink fame?
Yes.
As in Fargo and Blood Simple fame? As in No Country for Old Men fame?
Yes.
It is their new Western, if I'm not mistaken, which means it's their, third Western? Because you have True Grit, No Country for Old Men, and now this.
So it's called The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I don't know anything about it.
I saw the trailer for it, and some of the parts look kind of iffy, but then there's one person in the trailer that makes me like really like this is going to be about filmmaking. Like this whole Western is going to be a gigantic allegory for filmmaking.
Probably. It is an anthology film. I didn't realize that. Comprised of 6 stories, each dealing with a different aspect of life in the Old West. That makes me less excited. I didn't really want to see an anthology movie, but I don't know. I like Westerns.
I do too.
Let's give it a try. Hey, if some of them are bad, maybe some are good.
But it's fucking Coen Brothers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love the Coen Brothers.
Like I like them too, but like, and there are certain films that I don't like from the Coen Brothers that other people do like. Like I'm not really a big fan of Fargo, but like, you know, everybody loves it, and it's a good movie regardless.
Did you ever see Hail Caesar?
No.
So, me and my girlfriend tried to watch that, and she, I mean, it was kind of boring, but she was so bored that she's like, we have to stop watching this movie. I was like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I don't know if it's good or not. I didn't give it a fair shake, but
I'm of the opinion that their older films are definitely the better ones. Like, after they hit the mid 90s, they just kind of got,
I mean, you just become a different person after a while, honestly.
Yeah.
Your whole, thought process on everything changes.
Well, my favorite film that they did was like one of their first, like Blood Simple. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, Blood Simple was like the peak, and it was just kind of downhill from there, which is weird.
I hope this is something, guys. Danny, you have the final word.
Oh, do I? How can I not be prepared for the final word?
You've had so much time to think.
I've had so much time to think, but it's mostly just my mind melting from this movie and listening to you talk about it and trying to say words that just don't make any sense. Because like every single time I interjected this time around, I'm like, was that even worth talking about? That's it. That's my final word.